Hello everyone, welcome to the Ichimoku Charts.com daily analysis for the Euro US dollar FX for Wednesday, September 26, 2012. Well, a continuation of the trend to the downside today, and a candle has made a lower high and a lower low. Another black body candle, but a fairly small black body, slightly smaller than the black body of the previous day. It does suggest that there is a possibility of a change of trend to the upside. The way that this market has developed previously, we had the downtrend established with a solid black body, a small doji type candle that didn't amount to anything, and then an increase in the size of the black body, suggesting that sellers had built up some solid downside momentum. And as we've been trading for the past 3 days now, the size of the black body has been getting smaller and smaller. So even though the sellers are still making net bearish progress each day, they're making less and less amount, and it does suggest that there is potential for a change of trend. It means that the strength of the momentum of the sellers is starting to weaken, so there is a possibility of a change of trend. Today we also had the market interacting with the support at the 128.57 level, and we saw very strong rejection from there. Here we see the large shadow on the bottom representing the sellers losing commitment down below that level, and the sellers were unable to close down below there. We've actually had the market close just above the midpoint level, which suggests that the buyers have taken control, but it is very, very weak control, and it's almost neutral that neither side really has any control of this market. If anything, the buyers have very, very weak control, but it's really not terribly strong enough to be significant at the moment. Just looking at the trend lines and trend channels that I've done previously, I drew this trend channel here in the darker blue, and in the light blue we were able to draw this trend line, and the market may end up testing around the trend line, and that will be significant. It won't mean a change of trend, but it will mean a change of the momentum that the buyers had built in this previous uptrend based on this light blue coloured trend line, and it may mean that the market has a possibility to trade down to lower levels and substantially lower. As we trade down to around that trend line at the moment, we do start to see the market interact with the grey shaded area, which is a strong zone of previous resistance in this market, and will now offer itself as a zone of support. So we do need to be aware of that there is that large zone of support in this market. Now, just looking at something based on the trend channels as well, and this is a technique that a colleague of mine has been using for some time, and basically what he does when he draws a trend line and then a trend channel, as the market accelerates away from the top channel, he draws another trend channel on top of the first one, so we get another channel here, and we can see the darker blue line here, and it's exactly the same distance as the previous trend channel, so you end up stacking these trend channels on top of each other. And his thoughts are that if the market has enough momentum to break through to the upside, especially in a bullish manner through the first trend channel, then the second trend channel has a possibility of acting as resistance for a market. We can see here that that has happened, and that was quite significant. But also, based on the other trend line that I was able to draw, and this trend line in the light blue highlights the higher momentum and this acceleration away that we had in the market previously. We were able to stack the trend channels there, and that coincided also with this area where the market broke out here, where we had this tweezers top, and it was a confluence of the technique with both of the trend channels in the two different time frames and the two different sets of momentum in them, that we had that area highlighted as a very strong area of resistance. So that's a technique that we may employ for perhaps taking profits. The way to use this method would be to look for this type of interaction where we have any reversal signals there, or in this case where the buyers are losing commitment or whatever, and it does set the market up for that potential change of trend. But in this case, stacking the trend channels in both of the time frames with both types of momentum in the trend has worked very well. Now, in terms of the Fibonacci extension, and we're examining the current first time frame downtrend that the market's in relationship to the previous time the market was trending down, and here today we've seen the market interact with the 261.8% level at 128.40. We've seen very strong rejection from just below that area, and a very weak seize of control by the buyers, and it does set the market up for that potential change of trend. also with the Fibonacci retracement of the prior uptrend, and here we see strong rejection from the 50% level, and once again that sets the market up for a change of trend back up to the upside. Now in terms of Ichimoku, we have a bullish market in the long-term time frame by trading above the cloud. The market's also bullish in the medium-term time frame by trading above the pink line, the Kijun-sen, but bearish in the short-term time frame by trading below the Tenkan-sen here. Now there is a possibility that the market will interact with the Kijun-sen over the next day or two if we do trade down below 128.57 again, and we should look to that to be a very strong area of support, and that also coincides roughly with this zone where the higher time frame, or the faster trend line, is operating. So that will be very, very strong support down around the 128.57 area and just below, extending down to about the 120.28 level. So moving forward, we have a market that's bullish in the long-term time frame, just bullish in the medium term, bearish in the short term, but we are looking at a bounce here. We are looking at the sellers losing commitment. There is a possibility that the buyers will take control. We do need evidence of that. Let's look for a higher high and higher low than the previous candle, with the buyers coming in and a change of trend to the upside.